and then the current contemporary acharyas. So it's like an ocean of nectar. But very few devotees actually try to utilize that properly. I know for a fact. Very few devotees study and read.
I am embarrassed by my lack of being able to go there. I think so much of it came about because of all of the things you have to go through in ISKCON, to go through what you went through in ISKCON, like different people, different intensity in that, and then you come out of that roller coaster, and it's like trying to get the momentum to get going, and then you're already 70, and then you don't have the energy like you were younger. It's a lamentation, actually. It's sadness.
Well, our acharyas have written songs just for us. I wasted my life. I haven't worshipped Radha and Krishna. Endlessly. But that's part of our sadhana. We should understand that lamentation has to be very deep and very genuine. And even if you did try to utilize fully, still you'd be lamenting. Because as you approach the higher stages, that lamentation is a natural occurrence in the heart. And extremely deep humility. That's the actual sign that somebody is advancing along the path,
I was hearing Prabhupada say that this morning when he was speaking.
There you go.
Because the Godhead is unlimited. God is unlimited. So when we actually come into it, we think, we have pride and so much stuff, and then you see, what is God? God is infinite. And I'm nothing.
Yeah. And that's from a Siddhantic point of view, that anyone with any tiny little minuscule portion of a brain can contemplate that fact and understand. Like Prabhupada, I remember he told, many years ago, you probably heard this quote. He says, what is the sign that someone is very, very intelligent? Even if they're not educated, they may be illiterate, whatever may be their situation. But if they understand three things only, then they're very exalted and intelligent. What are they? God is very great. I am very small. Therefore, I should serve him. That's it. And Prabhupada said, in India you see so many rickshaw-wallas, but they're devotees. And they understand this principle. So in our Gaudiya Siddhanta that has been given to us by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he has 10 essential principles. Those 10 philosophical principles called Dasamul Tattva? You don't know. That means you haven't read the Jaiva Dharma. Yeah. See, it's time. It's Rishikesh, brother. It's time. We ain't got much time left. We have no damn idea how much time we have left, and we're old, and we should start doing something about what we were lacking throughout our life.
True.
Yeah. And the only way we're going to do that is if we stay in good association, and if we stay in a good environment that is favorable for that. Otherwise, bye-bye, carried away by Maya, by, so many lethargy, laziness, mode of ignorance. But if we understand that I have to do something about my situation, and there ain't much time left, then we should become determined. Like Rupa Goswami says, the 6 things that help bhakti. Utsahan, Nishchayat. You know that? Nishchayat, meaning? No. Nishchayat means firm conviction. You're completely convinced. Dhairyat, patience. Patient means that you keep on persevering. Those are the first three. Then what? Tat karma pravartanat. Do all the activities that are prescribed by the acharyas and by the shastras. Do them. Tat karma pravartanat. Follow them. Sangatyagat. That becomes a difficult one for a lot of people nowadays. Give up all adverse, bad association. Give it up. Sangatyagat. Because now everybody has that. And then they choose every single moment of the day. Should I associate with this, or should I associate with Krishna? Of course, this can also be utilized for associating with Krishna, but 90% of the time, it's not used for that. 10% of the time, maybe. So, Sangha Tyagat, and the last one, Sato Vritte. You know what Sato Vritte means? Yes? It means to follow in the footsteps of the previous acharyas, to behave as they have taught by their own example. You know? So it's all there, but we don't apply it. You know? So, in my case, I'm a very fallen soul. I realize that fact. I'm defective in so many ways. Okay, I've been around for so many years, and I'm trying. I can say, some significant effort in this life, but yet I'm handicapped. I have to do something about it before I leave this body. That means that I have to apply myself. That's why I give this class. It's for me. Because I want to study all these literatures. And if someone wants to also study, then they can come to this class and they can share together. But I'm doing this for my purification and for my edification, you know. So, everyone's going to have to use their free will that Krishna has given us and use it properly. And the way to use it properly is to follow Upadeshamrita. And then after that, follow Manasiksha and really do bhakti. Because you know what's going to happen if we don't? If I don't, what's going to happen? There are so many other samskaras left over. You know, samskaras? Impressions. And so, what kind of impressions are going to carry me to the next body? Very important. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajat ante kaleva, Krishna tells us. Whatever you remember at the time of death, that state you attain without fail. But you know, we become absorbed. Okay, everything's okay. You know, everything's okay. I have a decent place to live. I live in a nice climate. This, that, and it's all external. Yeah. But this place, this is the place that gives the internal. And it also has many favorable external features, like nice warm climate and so forth. And even the people that you're surrounded by here, compared to being in the West. That 2 years that I had to undergo, not being able to come back to India during the so-called scamdemic, okay? During that time, I learned my lesson good. Rishabdev observed my hard lessons that I was learning.
You brought down. It's very...
Compared to this? Bye-bye. Nothing compared to this. Nothing compared to this. That's like some, what's the word? Like you can't do the right thing, so then you get a second option, you know. But the internal is what is important. Not that just you call this, oh, we're in New Braj. We live in New Braj. But how much are you, your Atma, living in New Braj? What is your absorption in Braj? You can't just call it New Govardhan or New Braj or this or that, and then now you're living in a holy place. Of course, anywhere where there's a temple and the deities are worshipped, that's a holy place. But compare that to the Dham. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, his opening statement of the Jaiva Dharma. Opening statement of Jaiva Dharma. I'm going to read it just because we're on the topic. I'm going to read that. Okay. Chapter 1, first paragraph. Within this world, the island of Jambu Dweep is most excellent. You heard of Jambu Dweep? It happens to be the place that we're living in this universe. According to 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we're living in Jambu Dweep. And he calls this the island of Jambu Dweep. It is the most excellent. Then he goes, in Jambu Dweep, the land of Bharatvarsha is eminent. What's that? India. And within Bharatvarsha, the topmost place is Gauda Bhumi. Gauda Bhumi. And within Gauda Bhumi, the 9-island region of Srinavadvip Mandala is most distinguished. And in one area of Sri Navadvip Mandala, on the eastern bank of the Bhagirathi River, a beautiful settlement named Sri Godruma is eternally situated. In ancient times, many stalwart practitioners of bhajan lived in the various places of Sri Godrum. It was here that Sri Surabhi, a cow of divine origin, previously worshipped the Supreme Lord Bhagavan Sri Gaurachandra in her own kunja, a grove shaded with fragrant flowering creepers. And at a little distance from this kunja is Pradumna Kunj. Here, Sri Prem Das Paramahansa Babaji, a Siksha disciple of Pradumna Brahmachari, the best among the associates of Sri Gaurachandra, now lived in a kutir, covered with vines and dense foliage. And he spent his time constantly immersed in the divine rapture of bhajan. That's the introductory words. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is not leaving any doubt whatsoever. He's telling us exactly which is the best, ultimate place to live. So, I'm trying to do Dham Vas. And I think it's going okay. I have happy feelings in my heart every day. And I feel, how did I become so fortunate? That comes to me. I'm so fortunate. There's millions and millions of... Hey, Bhagwan Maharaj! Come! I called you! No. We'll get another chair. You can sit there. You can sit there.
You don't have to leave.
Chairs. No problem. Oh, good. Okay. I used to like it until I had knee surgery. Okay, seat. So now we're going to do the Jaya Dvani. Rishabh Prabhu is the official Jaya Dvani announcer.
Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandhara Sugir Radha Vinod Vinodi Radha Radha Radha
Jai.
Jai Vishnu Vishnu Paramahansa Pararajacharya Askara Sata Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Jai Lila Vishnu Vishnupad Pararajacharya Sata Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana Swami Maharaj Srila Jai
Ki Jai.
Lila Vishnu
Move the mic closer.
Shri Srimad
Move the whole microphone stand closer.
Bharati Maharaj
Jai.
Lila Vishnu Vishnupad Shri Srimad
Is that turned
Srila
on?
Bhakti Srila
Microphone.
Maharaj
Yeah. Is the mic turned on? Jai. It's not turned on. It is. Jai.
Sarvabhaum Srila Jagannatha Babaji Maharaj ki Shri Gauri Vedanta Acharya Srila Baladevi Dibhushan Prabhu ki Shri Rasikacharya Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki Shri Narottam Shri Vashamananda Prabhu Traya ki Shri Krishnas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki Shri Rupa Shri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu ki Shri Sudhamara Rai Ramanda Shri Gaur Parashad Vrinda ki Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki Prem Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Shri Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki Shri Navadvip Mayapurdam ki Ganga Devi ki Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Bhakti Devi ki Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopina Sham Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana ki Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Jarna Devi ki Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya ki Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki Gopishwara Mahadev ki Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi Sudasan Chakra Purushottam Dham Tota Bhuvana Narasimha Bhagavan ki Bhakta Pravara Prahlad Maharaj ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Samagata Bhakta Vrinda ki Nitai Gaura Premanande
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jataha Pada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshudun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Gurun Dinataranam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashtachya Deshatarane Namo Vishnupadaya Radhikayai Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayaniti Namane Shri Krishna Lila Katane Sudaksham Adgauri Madhurya Gunashta Yuktam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tam Shirsha Namami Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswaminiti Namane Namo Vishnu Padaya Acharya Singha Rupine Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Kesavaiti Namane Ati Martya Charitraya Svashritanancha Paline Jiva Dukke Sadartaya Shri Nama Premadayane Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namane Shri Varshavanavi Devi Dayataya Kripam Daye Krishna Sambandha Vijnanam Dayani Prabhave Namah Madhurya Ujjvala Prematya Shri Rupanuga Bhakti Da Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Mudai Dinatarane Rupanuga Virdhapa Siddhanta Dvantaharane Namo Vishnu Padaya Namo Gauda Kishoraya Sakshad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambhara Sambodhe Padambujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namane Gauda Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gauravir Bhava Bhumestvam Nirdeshta Shajjana Kriya Vaishnava Sarva Bhauma Shri Jagannathaya Te Namah Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahabhadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Trishe Namaha Nityanandam Namastubhyam Premananda Pradayane Kalo Kalamashanashaya Janava Pataye Namaha Ajanulambita Bhujo Kanakavadato Samkirtanaika Pitaro Kamalaya Taksho Vishwambaro Dvijavaro Jugadharma Palo Vande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jayatam Suruto Pangor Mama Mandamater Gati Matsarvasva Padam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadha Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanasto Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo Prestala Sevyamano Smarami Srimad Rasarasarambi Vamshivata Tatakstitaha Karshan Venu Svanayr Gopir Gopinata Shri Estuna Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay. Anyone else need kartals? Maharaj, kartals. You hand that to me. Okay. Now we have an ensemble. We can do kirtan. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koroe Dase Trunapekayati Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya. Hey, we didn't start yet. Gurudev Kripa, everyone, Kripa Bindu Diya Koroe Dase Trinapekayati Sakala Sahani Bolodiya Koro Nijamane Sprihahina Sakala Sahani Bolodiya Koro Nijamane Sprihahina Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koroe Dase Trinapekayati Hina Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koroe Dase Sakala Sahane Bolodiya Koro Sakala Sahane Bolodiya Koro Sakala Sahane Bolodiya Koro Sakala Sahane Bolodiya Koro Nijamane Sprihahina Nijamane Sprihahina Nijamane Sprihahina Nijamane Sprihahina O Sakale Saman Korite Shakati Dehonata Jata Jata Sakale Saman Korite Shakati Dehonata Jata Tabe ko gaibo harinama sukhe Tabe to gaibo harinama sukhe Tabe to gaibo harinama sukhe Tabe to gaibo harinama sukhe Aparada habe hata Aparade habe Aparada habe hata Aparada habe hata Kabhe no kripa lobhyaye jan Kritartha hoibe nata Kabhe no kripa lobhyaye jan Shakti buddhi আমি অতি দীন শক্তি বুদ্ধিহীন আমি অতি দীন শক্তি বুদ্ধিহীন আমি অতি দীন শক্তি বুদ্ধিহীন আমি অতি দীন করো মোরে আত্মসাত করো মোরে আত্মসাত করো মোরে আত্মসাত করো মোরে আত্মসাত যোগ্য বিচারে কিছু নাহি পায় তোমারা করুণা সারা যোগ্য বিচারে কিছু নাহি পায় তোমারা করুণা সারা করুণা না হইলে খন্ডিয়া খন্ডিয়া 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 প্রাণ না রাখিব আরা প্রাণ না রাখিব আরা প্রাণ না রাখিব আরা প্রাণ না রাখিব আরা গুরুদেব কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো হে দাসে তৃণবেকায়তি না গুরুদেব কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো হে দাসে তৃণবেকায়তি সকল সহনে বল দিয়া করো 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 নিজ মানে স্পৃহহীন নিজ মানে নিজ মানে স্পৃহহীন নিজ মানে স্পৃহহীন জয় গুরুদেবা জয় গুরুদেবা গুরুদেবা জয় গুরুদেবা জয় গুরুদেবা 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 জয় গুরুদেবা 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 জয় গুরুদেবা জয় শ্রী কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ শ্রী অদ্বৈত গদাধর শিবাসাদি শ্রী কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ শ্রী অদ্বৈত শিবাসাদি জয় শ্রী কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য প্রভু নিত্যানন্দ শ্রী অদ্বৈত গদাধর শিবাসাদি ভক্তবৃন্দ জয় শ্রী কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Nitai Jaya Go Jaya Nitai Jaya Go Jaya Nitai Jaya Go Jaya Nitai Jaya Go Oh Jaya Nitai Jaya Go Jaya Nitai Jaya Go Jaya Nitai Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Guru Parampara, Guru Parampara, Parampara, Guru Parampara, Parampara, Guru Parampara, Parampara. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Shri Sachinandana Gaura Hari Ki Jai, Shri Nityananda Mahajana Ki Jai, Shri Panchatattva Ki Jai, Shri Navadvipa Dhama Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Jai Nitai Gaur Prema Anande Hari Hari Bo. Listen, we are going to solve this problem today.
Yes, yes.
If we need to buy another speaker, that's what I'm going to do. Because this is not working.
It is not speaker, it is the wire.
I know that. But if we have two separate speakers and two separate wires, then this problem is not going to arise. But what you're trying to do is to put both wires from both microphones into that one speaker.
I'm waiting for one more thing.
Did you order that double thing?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so when that comes, we'll see if it works. But if it doesn't work, we will buy another speaker.
Simple.
Yeah, very simple solution. Okay. Now we are going to return to the reading of Ragvartma Chandrika. Have you heard of this book before? Have you read it?
No.
Okay. So this book is written by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And this book is telling us what we need to do. Right? What we need to do if what? If we want what?
Krishna Prem.
If we want Krishna Prem, yes. What else?
To be
Huh?
happy, to be happy.
Yeah, but way more than that. No. You went from Krishna praying to just being happy. Come on, stay on that level. Why are we in Krishna consciousness movement? Why?
To come out of suffering.
No.
No?
That is not the reason.
To become what we are.
We are in Krishna consciousness movement because we have received the message of the Vedas that teach us that the only way anyone can become happy in this miserable suffering of this material world, birth, death, disease, old age, threefold miseries, and everything else along with it, the only way is if we serve Krishna. Because we're part and parcel of Krishna. That's our constitutional position. Okay, so now serving Krishna has many varieties. Serving Krishna. And understanding and realizing Krishna has many, many different levels also. Did Mahaprabhu come to give Vaidhi Bhakti that was already given by Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, and the other 4 Vaishnava Acharyas? Did Mahaprabhu come to give that? No. Because Rupa Goswami, the verse that we just recited, Namo Mahabhadanyaya, Krishna Prema Pradayate. What does that mean? Rupa Goswami is identifying who is this personality who is singing and dancing with thousands of people surrounding him in complete ecstasy. Who is he? From a distance, Rupa Goswami recited this verse when he first met Mahaprabhu. Oh, you are the supreme benevolent personality. Mahavadanya avatar. Vadanya means generous, munificent, giver. Mahavadanya. You are the greatest of all givers. Why? Krishna Prema Pradayate. What are you giving? You're giving the most rare thing, the most valuable thing, the thing that even the demigods cannot get. You're giving Krishna Prema. Even Krishna himself, when he descends into this world in his Shyama Sundar form, he doesn't directly give Krishna Prema. He doesn't distribute it. He gives it to those who have earned it by previous life worship and so forth. Then. But when he descended in the golden form as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no more. He's giving Krishna Prema freely. So then Rupa Goswami said, who is this person that is giving Krishna Prema freely? Krishnaya. Krishnaya means you are Krishna. Krishnaya means actually you are Krishna. But Krishna Chaitanya Namani. Now you have taken the name Krishna Chaitanya. And not only have you taken this name Krishna Chaitanya, you have also taken the golden color, Gaura Tvishe Namaha. I offer my obeisances unto you, golden Supreme Lord, who is giving Krishna Prema. So, when we learn in this Kali Yuga, very fortunate Kali Yuga, Danya Kali Yuga, only in one Kali Yuga of 1,000 Yuga cycles does Krishna come as Mahaprabhu. 1,000 Yuga cycles equals 1 day of Brahma. And that is 4.3 approximately billion years. And his 12 hours in his night is the same, 4.3. So that's 8.6 billion years. That's inconceivable to us, that kind of length of time. We think that 1,000 years is a long time. Billions of years. It hasn't been given. It is never before given by anyone except for him when he appeared in a previous kalpa. So, when we come into contact with this great wealth of knowledge, this great most exalted, pure process, which is now being distributed by the followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over the world, due to our beloved Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur sending his disciple, giving that order, and then Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada fulfilling that order, and now in pursuance of him, so many are also doing. So this Krishna Prem and the process to attain it is being distributed. Correct? Is it being distributed? Yes. Otherwise, why did our acharyas write so many books? They are assisting Mahaprabhu in this process that he has inaugurated of Harinam Sankirtan. And that involves to hear. Shravanam Kirtanam Smaranam. So, we are in the most exalted thing in this world. I remember vividly, I have a very vivid memory of the second or third week when I came into the temple in 1970 as an 18, just turned 18. And when I began to hear, I was already hearing when I met the devotees. I heard the basic philosophy, but now I'm hearing every day. Plus I'm chanting 16 rounds every day with the devotees. I'm going out on Harinam Sankirtan for 5 hours a day every afternoon. And then we have morning and evening classes and artiks and prasadam. And after 2 or 3 weeks, I remember a distinct moment in time. I don't know if you had this also experience. It suddenly hit me. What has happened to me? Somehow or other, I have come in contact with the supreme, absolute truth. The absolute truth. There is no other absolute. I was fully convinced. And I was very kind of surprised. How did this happen? How could that happen? I didn't know what I was even searching for. Definitely I was searching. But I had no idea really what I'm searching for. All I knew was that I want to find the people in this world who I want to be with for the rest of my life. That's all I knew. And so many different steps. But I just wanted to make that point. At some stage, a devotee has to understand this fact, what has happened to me. And to be very, very much, inspired and moved by this fact that I have been so fortunate. So how will we understand our good fortune? Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam has manifested. Bhagavad Gita has manifested. Chaitanya Charitamrita. All of this will enable us to understand what we can attain. What is the ultimate good fortune that we can attain? Because just to come in connection with this information, with this knowledge, with this process, this lifestyle, that's very, very good. And to understand that I'm so fortunate. But yet, we will have to examine the documents. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, he told. It's at the end of his book, Sri Guru and His Grace. And he's telling that just like when there's a child, and the child is not yet of age, but the child is the legal inheritor of the father's property. And there are many documents which state that fact. So in order for the child to claim that the child will have to come of age, who is appointed, that that child should now begin to receive. When the father has passed away, now that has to come to happen. That has to take place, right? So, Srila Sridhar Maharaj used this example, and he said that our predecessors have left us many important documents. Now we must come forward and demand. We have to demand what is rightfully ours. Examine those documents. So those documents are what? The books, their instructions. And we have our inheritance. We have to claim it. But if we don't do that, then we're the loser. Not fully the loser, because we know that also there's agyata sukriti that you attain unknowingly. You get sukritis in previous lives by coming in contact with the process of bhakti and so forth. But agyata sukriti leads us to gyata sukriti, knowingly accepting. And that leads us to what? Association of pure Vaishnavas. Then in the association of the pure Vaishnavas, what takes place? Well, first of all, Shraddha. Shraddha, faith. Faith sprouts from that. The potential that we have Shraddha, it comes from that accruing of the agyata and gyata sukritis, bhakti unmukha sukritis, which are tending towards bhakti. Then in a particular lifetime, by dint of that, we become fortunate and we come in contact with the pure Vaishnavas. Now in that association, what happens? We start to hear. We hear from the pure Vaishnavas. We start to become aware that there's so many pure Vaishnavas and so many great acharyas, and they have all given us their contribution. We begin to recognize this. So then what happens? Then we take the next step. Bhajana Kriya, which means what? That now we accept Guru, we surrender to Guru, and we begin to execute, under the directions of Guru, we begin to execute the process of bhakti as given by Rupa Goswami and so forth. So that stage is called Bhajan Kriya. So that stage of Bhajan Kriya goes on for a very, very, very long time, even lifetimes. But Bhajan Kriya will then accomplish what? Anartha Nidriti. The anarthas is the problem. That's one of the main problems that the conditioned souls have. Lord Brahma realized that when he meditated, after hearing the instructions of Narada Muni, that he meditated on the Absolute Truth and he became inspired to be able to write the Srimad Bhagavatam. But one of those verses is Anartho Pasamam Sakshat Bhakti Yoga Madhoksaje. That Anartha Upasamam Sakshad means that he realized that all the jivas in the material world, the problem that they have is that they have this, they're covered with anartha. Do you know the meaning of this word, anartha?
Artha is something desirable. Anartha is something that's
Yes.
undesirable.
And also, Prabhupada also translates it as unnecessary. We've accumulated unnecessary burden of many different types of anarthas. And then, of course, Srimad Bhagavatam, in the second chapter of first canto, is telling us that how can you overcome the anarthas? By hearing. Shrinvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Vridanteksto Yibadrani Vidunoti Suritsatam. Then what happens? By engaging in that process, Krishna starts to clean our heart. And then, Nashtak Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. What happens then? Nashtak Prayeshu Abhadreshu. Now this is another word that is used for the same thing. Abhadra. Inauspicious things. Anartha, Abhadra. Inauspicious things. So, Nashtak means to destroy. Prayeshu means partially, not fully, but to a large extent. Nashtak Prayeshu Abhadreshu. By doing what? Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. By that, then what takes place is that naturally the stockpile that we have, this gigantic mountain of anarthas and abhadras, it now gradually becomes eliminated. And the percentage of it diminishes. So when the word prayeshu means almost. When it's almost completed, this process of elimination of the anarthas, not fully, but to a large extent, Nashtak Prayeshu Abhadreshu, by serving two different types of Bhagavats, the person Bhagavat and the book Bhagavat. Service must be done. That's the process through which the anarthas become eliminated. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Then what takes place as a result of that is Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati. Bhakti now manifests for who? Bhagavan. You see. And he's also called Uttama Shloka. Because he is glorified by the topmost poets with the topmost poetry in creation. So he's called Uttam Shloka. Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Naishtiki means steady. Now we become steady because we're not being moved and thrown off track by the anarthas. So unless someone voluntarily uses his free will to engage in this process, it will go very slowly. And there will be many problems along the way, and all kinds of sufferings and doubts and bewilderment and everything else, because you're not doing the process. And that's why Rupa Goswami wrote that verse. The two verses, 6 things favorable, 6 things unfavorable. And I can guarantee, because I've tested it on myself many times, over many years, am I doing it or not? And I'll tell you, when you feel that you're not, you're not doing, you feel like you're not actually properly situated, and you're not tasting the happiness that should be there in bhakti. So then all you have to do is check the list. Am I doing this? Am I doing this? Am I doing this? And I'll guarantee you, you're not doing a lot of them, or even most of them. Or even if you're doing them in a very weak application, not very assertively, you're just going along. So, that also will not give the beneficial result. Why? Because utsahan. If you don't have utsaha, enthusiasm, the process is not going to work very well. It will work over a long period of time. Yes. And that's what's been going on for us for a long time already. Although we're not aware of it, but Krishna knows. We've been in this process before. And many different lifetimes of accumulating sukritis, So at some stage, and that stage is this verse, Nashtak Prayeshu Abhadreshu. Once we become like that, then we're on our way, because now we're coming into the madhyam stage of nishta. Before nishta, you're in the kanishta stage. And therefore kanishta means you don't have nishta. Kanishta, you see. Your faith is very soft and pliable. You can become influenced very easily by adverse situations, philosophies, etc. So, we should know what the process is. Why Srila Prabhupada writes his summary study of Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu very early on, around 1969, I think it was published, or at least it was translated by Prabhupada. He began that process right away, because why? Because his fledgling disciples have to know what this process is, what are the authoritative literatures, and what does it lead to? What is the stages of progress? Devotees have to learn that, So Prabhupada gave the nectar of devotion. So the books of the Goswamis are essential for any person who wants to become a serious practitioner. They have to become conversant with what the Goswamis has given us, and the Rupanuga Guru Varga, what books they've left for us. And chief amongst them is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And of course the 6 Goswamis themselves. So, Srila Prabhupada, he wanted all the books to be translated. I was telling this story the other day, how after we completed publishing the Chaitanya Charitamrita in 1975, then a question was asked to Prabhupada, what will you translate next? This was in the BBT newsletter from Ramaswamy, who we met the other day, by the way. Did you know that? Did I tell you that? That cafe, Mayapur Cafe, we met him, we ran into him. We talked a little bit. Interesting. So, so what was I saying? What was this train of thought before that? Oh yeah, Prabhupada was being asked a question by Ramaswamy on the BBT newsletter. That what will you translate next, Prabhupada? And he suggested to Prabhupada, maybe you'll translate Mahabharata, another big, huge epic. Or maybe you'll translate the Vedanta Sutra. He was suggesting like this. And then Prabhupada commented that those books are not as important to us in comparison with the books of the Goswamis. In terms of bhakti, Prabhupada said, they're not as important for us in terms of bhakti as the books of the Goswamis and all of our acharyas. And he said they should all be translated. So now we're living in an era where most of them are translated, and there's good translations of most of the literatures given by the acharyas. And not only that, they're also translating all the commentaries of the great acharyas on Srimad Bhagavatam. Even now we're getting a direct translation. It's been translated into Hindi, but now they're translating it from Hindi into English. The whole Chaitanya Charitamrita, with the direct commentaries of 4 acharyas. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj. I'm forgetting the 4th one. But that's also now becoming available. I have the 1st volume. So what are we going to do? Are we not going to make an effort to receive this from them? We must. And if we do make that effort, then we'll be rewarded. Amply, amply rewarded. So we have to know what the process is. And there's a big confusion amongst the, especially Western devotee community, but also even in India. There's a big confusion over what is the actual process to attain what Mahaprabhu has come to give, to attain this Krishna prema, to receive that. What is the actual process? Yes, Rupa Goswami has said, Anyabhilashita shunyam, jnana karmadya navritam, anukulyena, Krishna anushilanam, bhaktir uttama. That's the beginning of his whole book, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. But to understand how to apply that, and what truly is Uttama Bhakti, completely pure Bhakti, that you will have to read the books of the Acharyas. Because it can be very easily mistaken. You know, when Gurudev came, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj came to America. First time 96, then 97, 98, 99. He was trying to point this out in a very humble way, and as a well-wisher. He was trying to point out how Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written a book called, what? No. Huh? No. Small book. Yes, but that's not the book that he wrote. Bhakti Tattva Viveka. I also never heard of that book prior, but that small little book, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is very clearly explaining what is Bhakti Tattva and how to discriminate, Vivek. Vivek means to study, to discriminate, to understand, comprehend. So that discussion, Thakur clarified everything, that there's different types of bhakti. There's only one type of Uttama Bhakti, but in that category there's many different rasas. But there's only one type of Bhakti. So that one type of Bhakti is described in the definition verse, Anyabhilashita shunyam. And Srila Narayan Maharaj would tell it everywhere that he went. Everywhere. Every single program, he would mention this verse. Why? Because what he's come to explain is unless you're pursuing that, you won't be able to receive it. You know? Because he's come to give the next level in the pathway of progressing. And how a devotee can come, as he's progressing, how he can come into the line that is called Ragavartma, the pathway of Rag. Because there's two types of sadhana. You know what sadhana, the word sadhana means? Yeah, practice. And so there's sadhana bhakti that goes through many stages in the stage of practice. It goes all the way from Shraddha all the way up to Ashakti. All through the other stages, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti. Then the second level of bhakti, there's sadhana bhakti, then there's bhav bhakti. And bhav bhakti is siddha bhakti. Bhav bhakti is perfection. In that stage, the devotee has fully realized his internal spiritual identity and can see it. And so in that stage of bhav bhakti, then gradually it comes to the threshold of entering into prema. And within the realm of prema, there's also many levels. Prem, Sneha, Man, Pranay, Rag, Anurag, Bhav, Anubhav, Satvik Bhav, Yavichari Bhavs, so many, and finally coming to Mahabhav. So this is a science. Yeah. But if somebody wants to go to university to learn any particular field of knowledge, they have to go through at least 4 years, right? Isn't it? To get a thorough understanding in any university, they have a curriculum that they have to follow in order to earn a bachelor's degree. And that takes about 4 years, generally. It may vary. But then if they want to go further, then they have to again do another 4 years. And then they can get what degree? What comes after bachelor's? Master's degree. Master's degree. But then if they want a PhD, then what do they have to do? Huh?
They have to write a book.
Yeah, they have to write a book.
Thesis.
And also, this whole process, they're given a certain amount of time. A couple of years, at least. A couple of years it takes to write their dissertation. But they have to do research also. I know all this very well because one of our Russian devotees, Jagat Mohini, who was the translator of Gurudev's first books into Russian language, her daughter, named Radhika, back when I first went to Russia in the year 2000, or actually I went in 99, I met her. At that time she was like 6 years old. And we had a program in the middle of the huge gigantic park in the middle of Moscow into the forest, because they have forests there. So there were like 40, 50 devotees all followed, and we went into this area and we had a program there. And this little girl, Radhika, was going around and picking flowers because it was, it's the beginning of the summer. Flowers were sprouting up here and there. She would come and put them at my feet as I'm sitting and lecturing. So over the years, eventually, then I ended up going to the country where her mother was born, Uzbekistan. And then I studied Russian language for a few months. They're there to protect you. Rakshishiti Pishtasa, Goptritve Varanam Tata. The word Gopta, you know what the word Gopta means? It comes from the word Gop. You know, the Gopas? Gopas and Gopis? Who do they maintain and protect? Who do they maintain? Cows. So they're called Gopas. Gopis. So, Gopta means my maintainer. So, Goptritve, the maintenance, the position of Krishna being my guardian, Goptritva, Varanam Tata, to fully accept this in your life. Like Srila Sridhar Maharaj would say, to embrace the guardianship of Krishna. To embrace that. Goptritve Varanam. That is the chief of the 6 limbs. All the other limbs are connected with that one. If you don't have that one, then you're not doing Sharanagati. Even if you do the other 5. You must have complete acceptance. Krishna is my maintainer.
How to come to that platform?
Well, let me ask you, what do you think is the answer to that?
I have to get to know him.
Okay. Yeah. To know Krishna.
Krishna.
Right. And then what?
And make relationship, friendship.
Okay. Have you come to know him?
Slightly.
But did you believe that he exists?
Certainly.
Okay. Why? Why do you believe that?
Because of my experiences in life.
Mm-hmm. And you felt what? You experienced
I
what?
felt his protection at times. I
Okay.
felt his guidance at times.
And when you read the Bhagavad Gita, which I'm sure you've done many, many times over the years,
Not so much, I stopped reading.
yeah, okay, but I'm just saying, at one point,
Yes.
you read the Bhagavad Gita. Did you believe in Krishna after reading the Bhagavad Gita?
Yes.
That he's the supreme absolute truth, personality of Godhead, from whom everything comes, etc., etc. Yeah? Did you believe that?
Yes.
Okay. Then you also have attended hundreds and thousands of Srimad Bhagavatam classes, and also probably spent quite a few hours in your life also reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Did you experience in that way that this conviction? Yes. Krishna is not different than Srimad Bhagavatam. So when you say that you have to meet him, you shouldn't disavow the fact that he's come to meet you in many, many ways. I'm sure that you've heard this wonderful 16-word mantra. It's called Maha Mantra. How many lakhs and lakhs and lakhs of times have you pronounced the Maha Mantra in your life? Add it up. If we add it up, even if we didn't do 16 rounds, only if someone did even 1 round or 4 rounds or whatever, but you add that up, and there's lakhs of times that you've chanted the name of Krishna. How many hours in your life have you been present during kirtans? Krishna is none different than his name. We may not have realized it fully, but we certainly have some experience of that. Otherwise, how you can go on chanting? Prabhupada would always use this as an example. Prabhupada would, I just heard it recently in a very early lecture. You know, I sometimes listen to Prabhupada's lectures while I'm taking prasadam. And Prabhupada's talking about this simple logic that Krishna and his name are non-different. Krishna is directly his name. Krishna is directly his form. He is present fully in his form, in his name, in his pastimes, like that. Qualities. So, and then he used the example that someone can, if someone wants to chant someone else's name again and again and again, hundreds, thousands of times, something like that. You probably heard a lecture where he said that. Did he actually say Coca-Cola? Okay. So, Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, Cola-Cola, Coca-Cola. But what will happen? Prabhupada directly says, you can only do it for some short time. But we are chanting this same Maha Mantra for years and years and years. And we never become tired of chanting this. This is proof. So anyway, the main point is, we have met Krishna. We've met Krishna's pure devotees. Okay? It has to come from our side. We can't wait until Krishna just suddenly takes a sledgehammer on our head. Hey, I'm here already. Are you going to serve me? Are you going to surrender to me or not? No. Because Krishna won't do that. He won't force. He's waiting for us. Yes?
Wouldn't a symptom of thinking that Krishna is my only maintainer be that one no longer has any anxiety
Yes.
about one's maintenance? There's
Yes.
fearlessness, there's no thought that
Yes.
I'm not.
That's because you have that conviction. That's the result of accepting Krishna as your maintainer.
Would you say that's Brahmabhuta Prasanatma?
To some extent, but not fully. But it's the beginning, because why? Brahmabhuta Prasanatma will take place when we actually are situated in bhakti. Realization cannot come without bhakti. It doesn't come just by jnana or karma or mixture, karma yoga, jnana yoga. It doesn't come by that. Only on lower levels some realization comes. But Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma, what does Krishna say? Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma na shochati na kangshati samasarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktin labate param. That's the shloka, the Brahma Bhuta shloka in the Gita. And what is Krishna telling in that shloka? He's saying the first symptom, Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma. One becomes very peaceful and satisfied. And na shochati na kangshati. There's no more hankering for any mundane things of this world. No more lamentation. Samak sarveshu. Well, let me finish the verse first. Samak sarveshu bhuteshu. He sees. He has realization. Whenever he sees all living entities, he sees them equally. They're all jivatmas. Krishna's in their heart. Whether it's an insect body or a tree body or a human, he sees all equally. And then Krishna says, Mad bhaktim labhate param. Do you know the meaning of those 4 words? Mad bhaktim labhate param. You get that?
He engages in devotional service.
My devotee, highest
He attains.
Yes, Maharaj, tell us.
He attains.
Okay.
Param, the supreme. Mad Bhakti. He attains the supreme stage of bhakti.
What does mad mean? Mad bhaktim. Yeah, bhakti to me. Labate, he attains. Param. He attains parabhakti. You've heard of parabhakti? Yes, that's the meaning. This is the meaning of that verse. He attains parabhakti to me, supreme devotion to me, in that stage. So you want to...
I want to do it when it says he becomes prasanatma, joyful.
Yeah.
So is the joy coming that he's realizing that he's Brahman, fully, I am Brahman?
Yes, because some experience is coming. Does Krishna not say in the famous Raja Vidyam verse, remember that verse? First shloka of the 9th chapter, most confidential knowledge chapter. You know, who knows that verse, beginning with Raja Vidya? Yes? Raja Vidyam, Raja Guhyam, Pavitram, Idam Uttamam. Then, 3rd line, Pratyaksha Avagamam Dharmyam. What does the word Pratyaksha mean? Directly. Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha Avagamam Dharmyam Susukam Kartum Avyayam. This knowledge is the king of all knowledge. Raja Vidya. Rajaguhyam, it's the king of confidential topics. Pavitram, it's pure, it's supremely purifying. Uttama, Pavitram idam uttamam, supremely purified. Pratyaksha avagamam dharmyam. This dharma, this bhakti dharma, this pathway, Sanatan Dharma, Bhakti Dharma, is directly perceived. Pratyaksha avagamam dharmyam. And it is experienced by the practitioner, susukam. Directly he experiences highest happiness. Susukam kartum avyayam. What is the meaning? Again, I forget. Kartum avyayam. Inexhaustible, something like avyayam. So, huh?
No diminishing. There's no
Yeah.
diminishing. The irony.
Yes, okay, yeah. So it does not diminish. So, your question was, that have you perceived Brahmabhuta? That's why you become happy in the pathway. Right? That was your question? Or is
Yeah,
it?
you perceive yourself as Brahman.
Right. I know that any sincere devotee who has tried with some sincerity to follow the process, so that's a certain degree of surrender, because I'm accepting. I mean, yes, I should do this. I should chant 16 rounds a day. I should do this. Anyone who's done that can ask any devotee, even if they only did it for a certain period of their life, but they'll always remember, I was very happy then. You know, because why? Because I was realizing that I'm not this body. I'm eternal. I never die. That realization gives great happiness. So in the Bhagavad Gita, there's different levels of knowledge. There's, I think, 5 main categories of knowledge. Confidential knowledge, more confidential knowledge, most confidential knowledge, the most confidential of confidential knowledge, like that. That's all there in the Gita. So if we experience happiness, like one time, Srila Gurudev came to Badger. I remember this, for his festival. And he looked out at the audience and he said, I am seeing something in you, in all of you. I am seeing in all of you that although you are coming, I'm also coming year after year. But I'm seeing in all of you that detachment is not awakening in you. Detachment, it's not coming. And then he said, that means you're not doing bhakti. That means you are not doing bhakti. That's what it means. If the detachment is not coming, it means you're not doing bhakti. You're doing something other than bhakti. If detachment is not coming, it must come. In Srimad Bhagavatam, right at the very beginning, famous shloka, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yogam Prayojita Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Charyat Ahoitukam. Janayati Ashu means very soon and very quickly to someone who's doing a bhakti to Bhagavan, Vasudev Bhagavan, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. Then what takes place? Janayati Ashu Vairagyam. Detachment, renunciation automatically comes, and along with that, Jnanam Cha Yad Ahoitukam. The word ahoituki is here. That means causelessly, without hetu, without cause. Ahoituki bhakti. It comes automatically. Renunciation and knowledge will come. So that experiment was done by Srila Prabhupada on the first jivas that came to him. And that's what took place, because he made them do bhakti. And they accepted it, and they followed it, and they were very surrendered to their guru. And they did so much service. So they experienced directly realization, jnana, and also vairagya. Also renunciation. But because some anartha is still there, so after not being in that association again, we see that so many gradually. This is what Gurudev came for, to help those devotees. He said that. He's come to help them get back on track. But is for understanding the highest level of bhakti that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to give. For understanding, because the title of this book is Rag Vartma. The word Vartma means what? It means path. The path of what? Rag. What does Rag mean? So we have to know all these things. Rag means the unquenchable thirst of Krishna's eternal associates. Their unquenchable thirst to serve him and love him in their own rasa that they have with him. That's called rag. It's natural. Mahaprabhu, through Rupa Goswami and the other Goswamis, and they demonstrated it in their own lives, that pathway is called rag marg. That